This is Coach Sabo, Director of Sport Performance at Adapt here in Charlottesville, Virginia. What we're going to do today is a little recovery foam rolling trigger point routine for in-season football players. I have here a ball, foam roller. That's a box where you can just use a chair, something not padded preferably. And then I have a band here we'll use at the end, but this isn't necessary. And what we're going to do is we're going to spend, for the purposes of this video so we can move quickly, about 30 seconds on each area. But if you need to, spend 90 seconds, 2 minutes, is recommended on an area that's particularly tight. Then pause the video, stay there longer, or hopefully you can memorize this routine and you're doing it on your own. Stay on that area longer as long as you need until you feel changed, but usually around 2 minutes is the upper end of how long you want to do one of these body parts. But we're going to start here. On the ball, we're going to roll the arches of our feet. Now I'm going to start just going back and forth, and I'm applying pressure into the ball, but I'm trying to stay relaxed, and I'm having my foot be relaxed as well, so I don't have tension in my toes. I'm going forward and back. And then I can also put my heel on the ground and work side to side here, kind of like a gas pedal in a car. When you pivot to use the gas pedal. And then if I'm finding a knot, I like to do what's called active release. So I'm going to push down. I got a knot right here. I'm going to push my foot down, and then I'm going to pull my toes underneath like this, and then I'm going to open my toes up. Then I'm going to push harder, and I'm going to pull my toes in, and I'm going to exhale during the hard parts, and then open my toes up, and I can do that a few times. I'm going to switch to the other foot here. Same thing, just starting forward and back. And I'm staying in between really the ball of my foot and my heel. And then I can go on the inside of my foot on that edge right here. And really what we're going to do is we're going to start from the ground up and work upward, and we're going to finish with the neck. And I'm doing the side to side. Now I'm going to do that active release, pulling down, opening up. Down, opening up, keeping that tension. I'm going to stay with the ball for our second spot here, and I'm going to move to the soleus. So the soleus we're looking for in between the calf and this Achilles. We want to stay off this Achilles right here, and we want to stay below the calf. So we can go on the sides and all in this area here. And I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to start rolling around and just looking for spots that are tight. I can go side to side. I can rotate. See what feels like it's helping you. And again, I can go on the side of that Achilles to loosen up the area around it. And then if I find a bad spot, I can just move my foot back and forth or make ankle circles like this, which helps. We can strengthen our ankle up. We do 10 of these each side, make circles as big as you can. You should feel some little muscles in your ankles burning, and I highly recommend you do it. Ankles, some of the most common injuries in sports. I'll probably say that in every video you watch that I have posted. But now I'm finding that spot. Just going to move forward and back. Make some circles. And then next we're going to move to the calf. And I want to move to the foam roller. It's a bigger area. And then keep in mind, we really have two sides to this calf. We have this side here, and then we have this part of the calf that wraps all the way around, basically towards that shin bone. So we want to hit both of them. So first I'm just going to start going down the middle, and you can do both at the same time. And if both you're not feeling much, then you apply extra pressure with the other foot, and you do one leg at a time. But right now I'm on the outside of that calf, and I'm trying to have this foot be relaxed. And now here's where a lot of people probably really start feeling it. And what's important to remember is just relaxing through the hard parts. Think if you've ever done yoga, they're always talking about breathing deep and relaxing and exhaling through the hard part of the stretch. Foam rolling is no different. If your muscles are already tight and then you smash a foam roller or a ball into it, that muscle's going to want to tense up. You have to exhale, relax, and tell those muscles to relax as well. Now I'm all the way on the inside, getting right up towards that shin bone. And exhaling through it, and again I can do those active releases as well. Just about every spot we're at. If you find a really bad knot, you stop on that knot. You can apply extra pressure if you need to, and then just move the joint closest to it, and usually that recipe will get you some relief. From there I'm going to go back to my ball and show you a couple ways we can get this muscle on the other side of the shin bone. So the calf touches that shin bone there. This muscle here is called the Anterior Tibialis, the outside of that shin. And what we can do is we can just take this ball and roll it. And if they're really tight, this will probably give you some great relief. But if they're not too tight, or you need a little extra, we can go to the side so my shin bone's pointed that way, and I'm pointing my toes away from my body, and I'm going forward and back here. And you may not even have to roll. I feel this one a lot, and if you do too, I recommend again that active release. Find a spot, just kind of move your ankle around, take a big breath, and when you exhale, sink into the roller, and then try to move it around a little bit more and do the same thing. I'm going to hit the other side a little bit. And then after here, we're going to move upwards towards the quad. So now keep in mind, they call it quad because there's 4 of them, 4 muscles on the front of your leg. And we want to make sure we put some attention into this one here and this one here. When these 2 get tight, they attach down at that knee and they can cause some knee pain. And obviously there's those ones in the middle, but a lot of times when people roll in their quads, I see them focusing on those in the middle. So what we can do is go back and forth. I'm going to go 2 at a time just so we can move through this video. Like I said, pause it whenever you need to. But we need to turn our toes. So now my toes are that way so I can get the sides of my quads. So I would roll here, exhaling, and then I'd go turn my toes this way, getting my quads. And now if I really wanted to focus on, say, this VMO, this bigger muscle here to the inside, I can go 1 leg at a time to put more weight on that muscle. And again, the active release would look like this here. I'd find that bad spot and exhale as I lift and bend my knee. After about 5 to 10, or when it feels better, we can go back to rolling, and then you'll either find a new spot or it'd be time to move to the next leg. After we finish those quads, I want to go to our adductors. So those are in here. It's the inside of the thigh towards the groin. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn your foam roller vertical, bend your knee at 90 degrees and the hip at 90 degrees. And now we are going to go side to side. So you might find that you're a lot more sore near the knee, which again is right up towards that VMO that we were just on. Or you might find that you're more tight towards the top, closer to the groin. And that active release, what it would look like here, is we'd find that spot, breathe into it, and then we straighten that knee out to the side. And exhaling when we straighten the leg. And then we roll again to loosen it up. Same thing, other side. I'm here. In and out, I'm exhaling. Active release, again, would lock out. Now I'm going to move to those IT bands. So those, essentially what you're looking at is the quad muscle ends here. The hamstrings are back here. There's a long band there called that IT band that's on the very lateral portion of our thigh. And I am going to apply some pressure, thinking about keeping my foot pointed laterally or parallel to the ground. And it usually doesn't take long to find this area here. And personally, I don't like to roll it. You might be tougher than me. I like to do the active release here, and I put a lot of weight in this hand, and I put a lot of weight in my other foot so that I am able to move through. And then if it's really, really tight and you can't stay on it, just spend extra time rolling this side of the quad and the outsides of this hamstring, which we'll do a little bit of hamstring next. So again, showing from this side. So we get this IT band. This IT band gets tight, it can cause knee discomfort. And it's tight in a lot of people. So there, I found a good spot. Breathing through it. All right, now from there, we're going to use that chair. Like I said, it can just be a box. It can be this chair here. But I want to keep this ball on that surface. And from here, if I was laying on the ground with the roller, it's hard to apply a lot of pressure into that roller. From here, I have that ball, I can put it into my hamstring and pull myself into this box. And especially if you're high hamstrings, the upper portion of your hamstrings are really tight, this is great. And from here I can roll, but then when I find a bad spot, I'm gonna sit up tall, I'm gonna inhale, and exhale and straighten that leg. And if I'm really tight, I might only be able to get there, but then every rep I should be able to get a little further and a little further. And I'd say anywhere 10 to 20 of those, exhaling when you lock the leg out, and then switching to the other side. So now I'm here, I'm in that hamstring. So now I'm more on the lower portion. I got a knot on the lower side of my hamstring here. Same thing, I'd sit up tall, pull the box, and pull. And again, I'm gonna keep reminding you, pause this video anytime you need to. If you need to stay on an area a little longer and get these reps, said I wanna move quick. Because if you're feeling pretty good, you can probably just roll through the video with me. But I also don't want to upload a 35-minute video because then nobody will ever watch it. So next, what I'm going to go to is an area called the TFL. And I want you to think about locating your pocket, and it's kind of just in front of your pocket, or right where that pocket is. It's not quite our hip flexor, and it's not that hip bone. It's that area right in the middle. And there it is. Sometimes you just kind of got to roll around till you find it. And this one here, I like to just put the roller on it and just breathe into it. So I'm going to inhale, and when I exhale, I'm just thinking about my body sinking down into the roller. I'll inhale again. And now my body just sinks into the roller on the exhale. I want to think about a 4-second inhale and close to about a 4-second exhale. So again, I'm finding that spot, that TFL, tensor fascia latae. So I'm here, I'm going to inhale, exhale, sinking down into the roller, sit there for a little bit, and I inhale, and I'm sinking more into the roller and letting my body relax. Now, I'm going to take the roller, turn it sideways, I'm going to sit down on top of it. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left while my left leg stays bent. And then I'm going to go onto my right hip or glute. And we're searching for, well, we're hitting obviously a lot of the glute musculature, but we're going to search for a muscle called the piriformis in here by crossing this leg. And if I'm too loose here, I may not feel it. I want to pull that in tight so this knee comes up high, and you can just support that knee with this hand if you need to. But you're going to want a lot of weight in this arm here. And then from here, same thing. I like to just inhale. And then when I exhale, think about sinking down into the roller. But you can go side to side here like this, and you can go forward and back. And I definitely recommend, if you were going to skip through some places, or skip through some of these spots that you're rolling, don't skip through this one. As a matter of fact, if you needed an emergency action rolling plan to go very quickly, I would say do feet, calves, quads, these glutes, and then probably your mid and upper back if you only had a few minutes. But watch the rest of the video, please. And then from here, you can add that side to side. And keep going side, see all what feels good. Now, from there, I'm going to go to my lat. So thinking armpit, there's this big muscle here in between your armpit and your shoulder blade. And I want to find that muscle. And this one's a little tough to find. A lot of times when I tell people to find their lat and roll it, commonly they'll say, I don't feel anything. I'll just tell them, keep looking for it. And then all of a sudden their eyes get big like that. So I'm going to tell you to do the same. And when you find that lat, there's mine. You can just kind of go back and forth. You can roll like this. It'll probably be your first instinct after all the techniques we've done today. But I kind of like to go side to side instead. And I'm right in between my shoulder, like my shoulder muscle here and my shoulder blade there in the back, right in that crease. And what you can also do is just kind of move this arm, bring it down in front of you, inhale, and exhale, take it back. And then you can add a couple of these as you start to sink. See, as my lat starts to loosen up, this feels better now, but before this felt better. We'll check the other side. And one side might be tighter than the other. If that's the case, spend less time on the side that doesn't need it as much. Your time is precious, but I think it's important to do each thing on this list and at least check it out. And I'm talking through this thing so you can move a little faster than me. Put the foam roller or the ball on each spot, see if you need it. If you don't need it, spend a little time there and move on. Move my arm, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, now we're gonna get rid of this. We're done with it. And what we're gonna roll is this upper trap area here. And I can put it, so if this is my shoulder blade, I can put it on the inside of this shoulder blade. I can put it kind of at the corner here, right at the base of my neck, but still in this big trap muscle there, or I can go out to the sides here. So wherever I feel like I need it, and what I'm gonna do is go there, and I can even move around, and don't put it on the shoulder blade, stay on the muscle. And right there is pretty tight for me, and honestly what you can do is just lay here, breathe into it, that muscle will relax, or you could do some glute bridges to apply some tension. Pull the side that you're working on and you can roll. And what you can also do is some neck flexion. So right here, I'm pulling my arm to get a little bit more of a stretch back there. And I'm going to inhale, exhale, and lift my head up. And I can even move my head to the side, over here, see what feels good. Switch to the other side. Go here so y'all can see. That feels good. Same thing, can add, I like it up here, up at the top for glute bridge, or I can add these neck flexions in. Spend some time there. I think we know how important neck is in football. Here's another area we can hit, this chest. We're going side to side. We can put this arm behind our back. To be honest, I didn't have this one planned too much. But this is one, depending on the position you play and what your training routine is like. It's common, football players have tight pecs, so you can put that on the floor, put it up against the wall. If you have it on the floor or wall, pinned here, we can move this arm around as well. Okay, the band here, if you have it, we can take this band, put it up over our head onto our trap, and have it pulling down on our trap muscle. And then from here, you can pull at the neck, and that band pressing down into the trap, similar to a foam roller or a ball pressing into the muscle. And we can just pull our neck and stretch right here. And this feels really good. And I can do the other side as well into it, but you're only going to feel it with this band compressing here. So I can pull down at an angle, inhale, exhale, pull to the side. I can inhale, exhale, pull back, and I can just do some neck circles from here. And I can obviously switch to the other side if you have that band. And what we're going to do now is we'll get pretty detailed here. If you have time and if you've had a history of concussions, we want to take care of these neck muscles, which you can also release. So I want to bring my chin down and then take my head to a side. And the opposite side, these muscles will kind of poke out over here. I kind of just want to grab hold of them. A light pinch. I have them between 2 fingers. I can do 3 fingers. And I'm just going to move away a little bit. So that was towards, and I'm moving right here. I'm exhaling. I can do the other side again, chin down, look away, exposing these muscles here. I'm going to grab on, and I'm just rocking my head away, which feels really good. Same area, I can grab the very top of my trap. You see maybe that thing sticking up right there. I can feel it. I'm going to grab there. I can pull, but if you already did the band and you rolled it, this may not be necessary. And then last couple spots here, right at the base of your skull, right under this bony protuberance here, you're going to go down into where it comes in and go out to the side, and you should feel some tissue here. You can press into there. There's some fancy science out now that says this might help wake your glutes up, which is important. It can help you from things like pulling hamstrings, your glutes more active, or low back pain, but it's also just releasing neck muscles. So we can do that. We can do that with our fingers, or we can put the base of our head on the foam roller. And this, I've been told many times, is people's favorite thing to foam roll. You find that area and you just go side to side. I didn't plan to do that many. It felt that good. Last thing I want to show y'all is a weird one, but everybody's surprised on how tight this area is. I want you to find your jawbone right behind your ear, and I want you to press inward towards the front of your face, right behind your earlobes, in towards your jawbone, towards the front, and just massage that area. It's extremely tight, and you can open the jaw a little bit and then work your way down the line of that jaw. And then now I'm on the sides of the neck here. Extremely tight, relief tension, could help with headaches. But again, we're just trying to have healthy muscles from our feet, which is the first thing between us and the floor or the field, and our head, which is, other than that helmet, the only thing between us and people sometimes. So let's protect it. More coming. There'll be a mobility video for in-season football and some injury reduction exercises for in-season football. Don't be afraid to reach out if you have any questions. Thank y'all for watching this long. Really appreciate it.